it's a bit strange that a video comes out and someone says that he's from Turkey or he's from Tajikistan and that he was hired via an Instagram channel. I'm finding it very strange, almost choreographed. Tatiana.
Well, look, Niranjan, I would, just like to come back to another statement that my lovely counterpart from Kiev has just brought out. He literally full on accused Belarusia of having a hand in, just hear it, it's the deadliest terror attack that Moscow's faced. I come from the generation, I understand that I'm older than he is. So I come from the generation that actually remembers the terror attacks in Moscow, the Islamist attacks in Moscow. I was literally living at the metro station, one of the metro stations that were blown up, the last terror attacks on the Moscow metro. You know, I remember Nordost. I remember Beslan. I remember all those attacks. I was alive. I was, I was already conscious enough and grown up enough to remember them. This is why I completely agree with General Bakshi, when he says that look, it just does not look like Islamic terrorism. It doesn't. This is why when ISIS comes out and straight away claims something, well, sure, of course, it's easy to claim something. Give us a motive. Why Russia? Yeah. Why right now? Why 2024? Don't you have other countries that you have more, controversy with? It just does not make any sense. But then Ukraine comes on and they say, oh, look, this is Russian special forces. Why? And accusing Belarus is even more ludicrous. This is the country that's actually, to remind you, Volodymyr, again, for the second time today, to remind you of your country's history. This is the country that your country used to be in a union with, back before the coup d'etat that happened in Kiev, before Maidan. It was a big union. You should know that. So why would you do something like this? This is the easiest thing. We know of countless instances where diversion groups crossed this border from Ukraine into Bryansk region. Yes, those attacks get deterred, but these are militarized, big diversion groups. 4 people, it's not a big diversion group. And they were heading towards that border where they know.
And I'm picking up more details of, yes. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Tatiana. There's a delay. Go ahead. Complete your point.
Saying, this is the biggest, and this is also the most, this is such, it's criminal almost to suggest something like this. And it's very easy as well, because you can never prove something like this. You can say, okay, so these are Russian special forces. And it's a perfect conspiracy theory. It is offensive to us. It is incredibly offensive. I live in Moscow. I've lived in Moscow my whole life. I did live in different other countries, but this is my home. This is my country. This is my city. And we're watching the images right now. Look, this is the biggest concert hall in Moscow. I was there just, over a month ago, I think. It's huge. It's 6,200 people inside there. And you're saying, look, this is Russian special forces. I cannot prove it because obviously they covered their tracks. This is the most offensive thing you can ever say, but it's also perfect conspiracy theory.
First, Putin and blame on Ukraine is